The video you are about to watch was made for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed in this video are those of the content creators themselves and should not be taken personally. So sit back and enjoy.
Well, it's official. The acting Attorney General of the United States said that the Epstein case is closed, and he will not be prosecuting any of the men in the files because it's not actually a crime to party with Epstein, where he abused women and children for decades. And he's actually going to break the law to protect those men because he said he will not be releasing the 3 million files they are withholding in violation of the law that the Senate passed with unanimous consent. So while the victims are still out there saying that Trump has not been cleared of anything and that there are men in those files that need to be held accountable, the Attorney General, the acting Attorney General, Todd Blanche, is saying, no, we're not going to prosecute any of those men because we don't think they did anything wrong. So the Epstein case will not get any better because Pam Bondi's gone. Because at the head of all of this is a president who's in the files more than anybody else who doesn't want these men held accountable.
Start printing the emails and posting them everywhere. Print out the emails, print out the files, and start posting them everywhere. Because the only people that are fully aware of the shit that is happening right now are the ones that are chronically online. Most people in their day-to-day life do not have time to watch the news. And even if they are, the news isn't even telling you half the shit that's in there. And then on top of that, like, most people don't have the time to just go down these rabbit holes. They don't have the time. They have kids, they have work. Most people are working multiple jobs. Like, when do they have the time? They do not have the time. Print the emails out, plaster them everywhere. Plaster them at your schools, your universities, your jobs. Plaster them down the fucking streets on the light poles. Plaster these emails everywhere. Make it so that people have to know what's going on. Talk to every single person you see. All of them. All of them.
Somebody should, you know? Somebody should what? I don't know. Neither do you, right? None of us know anything. We don't know fucking anything. But somebody should, though. If somebody knew what needed to be done, that person should probably just do it and know that we all would love you. We would love you forever. You'd never want for anything again. Ever again. We've got you. We don't just have you, we have you and your family's family, and hopefully you look exactly like me, because that's the kind of person that should be thinking about whether or not they should or shouldn't be doing something right now. Just to be clear, somebody should, but we don't know what somebody should be doing. You know what I mean? None of us know what anybody should be doing right now, right? None of us know anything. We don't know anything. Just go and do what you need to do, which you don't even know you should be doing, because none of us even really know what we should be doing, right?
You know why Trump thought that Iran was going to surrender right away? It's because he cannot possibly imagine a soldier, whether they be from Iran or the United States or Israel, being willing to die for their country. Now, some people would say Donald Trump was willing to get shot at and keep running for re-election. Donald Trump ran for re-election because it was either become president again or die in prison. He didn't do that for the country. He did that for himself, like he does everything else. I'm the former Secretary of State of Missouri and a former intelligence officer in the Army. You can follow me here for more of this.
I think what Trump is doing at the moment is a pump and dump scheme. He's trying to drive up the oil price, tell friends beforehand that he's about to make an announcement which will cause the price to fall, and he's just oscillating this way up and down and exploiting it for his friends and for his own wealth in the process.
Do you actually think that's the case?
Yeah,
because
I do. I mean,
this must be hurting.
Make sense of this stuff.
This must be hurting his friends economically, because the stock market's going to take a dip if he's not careful, and his friends are all shareholders in different big companies. So and also when we think about energy,
if you know, like one of Keynes's great lines was that there's no point in buying a stock which you think is going to increase in value over time if you think it's going to slump in the immediate future. So he's making an announcement which causes oil markets to panic, so the price goes up. We've given him control of the most powerful country on the planet. He knows if he makes an announcement, it moves markets. He has no compunction whatsoever in exploiting that to cause rises and falls in prices and try to exploit them himself and with his friends.
I think the time to ship bricks has come. FBI's new political pre-crime center list of domestic terrorism indicators. Let me show you the list right now. So basically, if you hold any of these in your political ideologies, you're on notice courtesy of the FBI. Anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism, anti-Christianity, support for the overthrow of the U.S. government, extremism on migration, race, gender, hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on family, religion, and morality. I got two things to say about this right here. Support for the overthrow of the U.S. government is in our Constitution. We are allowed to do so if we, the people, feel the need to. Okay? Traditional American views on family. Men used to legally be able to beat the shit out of their women if they felt like it. What are you trying to say? This is the FBI budget request to Congress. It reads, domestic terrorists who are motivated by a range of ideologies and galvanized by recent political and societal events in the U.S. pose an elevated threat to the homeland. What? Domestic terrorists exploit a variety of popular social media platforms, smaller websites with targeted audiences, and encrypted chat applications. They use these platforms to recruit new adherents, plan and rally support for in-person actions, and disseminate materials encouraging radicalization and mobilization to violence. What? In other words, if your political views are anything other than MAGA, you're on notice courtesy of the FBI. Does any of this ring a bell? This is fucking alarming. I just woke up and heard the FBI calling half of America domestic terrorists. Does that sound familiar at all?
Just got hit by a train. I couldn't move because of my seatbelt.
This is the Kimberly-Clark warehouse. It supplies 3% of all the West Coast toilet paper, engulfed in flames. This was no accident. It was set on fire by an employee. There's now the viral video of it where he's going around lighting each pallet of toilet paper on fire. And while he's filming this and burning the warehouse down, he says, I am not making enough money to live. The cost of living is too high. They are not paying me enough. I got this warehouse with $60 million of inventory and you're paying me like less than $20 an hour. Screw you guys. I'm burning it down. Is this a canary in a coal mine? Are we in the beginning of the American worker revolt?
They're not gonna pay us enough to fucking live or afford to live. At least pay us enough not to do this shit.
See some of the flames, the scope of what firefighters once again have been dealing with out here. Massive flames and heavy smoke we're seeing coming from the roof of the building, completely engulfing it.
Look at that. Earth. Earth is flat. We have proof. Earth is flat. We know you love flat Earth.
Did you know that gyroscopes actually do not have the ability to account for the Earth's curvature? Because what you do with the gyroscope is you calibrate it before you take off to be level with the Earth. And what it does is it tells you if you're tilting your plane left or right, or tilting the nose up or down in relation to the level that it is calibrated at with the Earth. So if the Earth is constantly curving at 8 inches per mile squared and you're 40,000 feet in the air, the plane would have to be consistently tipping its nose down to account for curvature. But we all know that planes don't do that. They fly straight for hours and hours at a time. So how is the gyroscope accounting for that curvature. It's not. It's staying level with the level of the Earth, because that is simply how it works. If it was constantly curving at a downward slope, the gyroscope would have to be constantly readjusting, which it doesn't do. It's pre-calibrated before they fly. And think about the fact that the Earth is supposedly spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. How can we account for that when we're taking off and landing? And what about the gyroscope? Wouldn't that mess with the gyroscope if the level beneath us was constantly spinning? But of course, this video was for entertainment purposes only. Obviously, the Earth is a globe.
Does it look like the moon is traveling around 68,000 miles per hour? You know that they say that the moon is actually traveling or orbiting faster around the sun than Earth is orbiting the sun. Earth orbits the sun around 66,600 miles per hour. And they say that the moon actually, because it has to rotate around us, which then rotates around the sun, so it's actually traveling faster than Earth. Does it look like it's traveling almost 88 times the speed of sound? There's your sun. Does it feel like we are traveling around it at 88 times the speed of sound? You guys realize how fast that is? Well, take for example the fastest jet that the military has. It's probably around 2,500 miles per hour. And they say this thing, where's it at? It's traveling around 68,000 miles per hour. What's preventing us from feeling all those different speeds, being dragged by the sun through the Milky Way galaxy at over 500,000 miles per hour, while the universe expands at 2.3 billion miles per hour? Yet we feel nothing. Nothing. You guys have been lied to. You've been deceived. And that's why NASA means to deceive in Hebrew.
So look at this. This guy decided to take a Nikon P900 and zoom in on something he saw appearing to fly in front of the moon. What in the world could that thing be? And how is it flying way up in the air, but it looks so close to the moon? I thought the moon was 230,000 miles away. What could that thing be? Well, guess what, guys? It's a satelloon, or a satellite. You see, this is a video of NASA genuinely launching a satellite into the air with a helium balloon. Did you know that NASA is actually the largest consumer of helium in the world? I believe it's called like Project Balloon or something. You can just look it up. NASA and all of the other space agencies are using helium to launch these things into orbit. Have you noticed how every single picture of a satellite in space, if you Google it, it's all CGI? Why do the rulers love showing us CGI and telling us that it's real? Of course, it's real, guys, even though it's computer generated. And of course, we have tens of thousands of satellites in orbit, but we can never actually see them. Guys, you have never seen a satellite with your naked eye. I highly doubt that. Maybe, if it was being launched and you just so happened to see it when it was being launched. But yeah, it's a bunch of baloney, guys. They use helium. They're not whipping around the gravitational force of the globe.
Check this out.
Can you give us one word, one esoteric word?
Television. Tell a vision. Telling a vision to your consciousness. If you turn on your television, you click on a program. There's a program to do program subconscious programming. On that program is a channel. A channel is a term used for communication with spirits or otherworldly beings when somebody channels something. Often on these programs are something that is being broadcasted. So when you break down phonetically the term broadcast, it's a broadcast, like someone's casting a spell. You could cast a spell broadly. What is broadcasted? The news. News, N-E-W-S. That's an anagram for northeast, west, south. It is all directions being broadly casted.
Good morning.
So what do you do now that food is starting to have binding legal agreements if you open the package? You're giving up part of your rights and you're agreeing to their terms if, let's say, you find something in the food that shouldn't be in the food. It reminds me of when Disney tried to argue that after this guy's wife passed away at a Disney park, that he didn't have a right to sue because he had signed up for Disney Plus. And in the Disney Plus streaming terms and conditions, it talks about Disney parks and Disney property. With all the safety recalls recently over food, if I see this on my food container, I'm just not opening it and I am returning it.
Just a quick little public service announcement, but everything's about to get really expensive. So if you see somebody shoplifting food from a major corporation, no, you didn't.
Why are you okay with any voter fraud in the United States of America?
I don't know, Caroline. Why are you okay with any mention of Trump in the Epstein files, let alone over 1 million times? Why are you okay with any alleged sexual predator working in the White House? Why are you okay with any civilian casualties after Trump promised no more wars? Why are you okay with any prices going up, like for food or gas or housing? Why are you okay with anyone dying at the hands of ICE? Why are you okay with any women dying because of abortion bans? Why are you okay with any child dying because of gun violence or from diseases we previously got rid of? We both know this argument is bullshit, especially because you're choosing to focus on voter fraud, which makes up just 0.0000845% of all votes cast over the past 25 years. Spare us the fake indignation and maybe focus on actual problems we face.
Anyone that studies Hitler and 30s Germany, take a look at Donald Trump. Same playbook as Hitler's Germany, and he's doing it right now. And this country's so stupid, they're falling for it. The guy's a con man, and a good one, because he's got a lot of smart people that have drank the Kool-Aid.
So many politicians are con men, though, huh?
He's not a politician.
Right. That's a good point.
Gunshots everywhere. Lots of gunshots.
Viva Palestina, viva Sudán, viva Yemen, viva Puerto Rico.
look like a warehouse is on fire or something. That shit looks crazy. What the fuck is going on?
Holy crap, what the fuck's on fire? That's crazy.